One night during the performance, I have accidentally wore one of the rings from wardrobe on my ring finger, and they let me know when I got off stage. I said, they're gonna think I'm married.
Jamal Roberts has always told the world he was single. In every interview and on every stage, he proudly spoke about his daughters, but not once did he ever mention a partner. It always seemed like he was walking through life solo, just him and his girls. That made his journey even more powerful to many people, but now that image of Jamal alone has been challenged. A new photo of him walking hand in hand with a woman has sparked the question, was Jamal keeping a relationship under wraps this whole time? To really understand how this quiet and soulful man may have ended up concealing a full-blown relationship, we've got to rewind before Jamal Roberts was a household name. Before the stages, the lights, or the roaring cheers. He was simply a humble man, singing gospel in a small-town church. He wasn't seeking attention. In fact, if you asked folks from his hometown, they'd probably tell you Jamal wasn't someone who even imagined chasing fame. Every Sunday, he'd stand at the front of the sanctuary, and the moment he opened his mouth to sing, the atmosphere would shift. There was something there, emotion, sincerity, power in every word.
No women I ever talked to come back and speak because there's nothing to talk.
People in the community called his voice anointed. But it wasn't just his gift that drew people in, it was his spirit. Jamal was always the first to volunteer, never the first to talk about himself. He wasn't pushing for likes on social media. He wasn't sliding into music industry circles trying to make it. He didn't pack his bags for LA with dreams of record deals. No, Jamal stayed. He stayed rooted, stayed grounded, and most of all, he stayed humble. Music to him wasn't a strategy. It was his form of worship, but everything shifted when he made the unexpected choice to audition for American Idol. For those who knew him, it came out of nowhere. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't a performer in the traditional sense. He definitely wasn't trying to become a reality TV star. His audition was simple. Jamal standing in front of the judges, singing from the deepest part of himself. And when he didn't just impress them, he moved them. I felt like I was treated fair on American Idol. At first, I was skeptical. I'm like, man, I don't know, ... single quotes, you just know, TV is TV. But they gave me a fair shot. They let me show what I could do. And I didn't want anything handed to me. I wanted to work for it. I really appreciated that. Jamal's journey on Idol quickly became one of the most talked about stories in the show's history. Week after week, he stepped on that stage and delivered performances that felt raw, personal, real. He didn't just sing to the audience, he sang with them.
Don't believe the hype, whatever it is on social media. If I didn't say it, it ain't true. I'm just a down-to-earth country guy. Love my kids, I'm a family man, and I'm here to sing and make everybody feel better. So just keep following me on this journey, and we're going to do the best we can and just make it to the...
His voice told stories, carried weight, and connected with people in a way that few contestants ever had. And behind all of that emotion was another part of his story, his life as a single dad. Early on, Jamal opened up about raising his 3 daughters. He shared the struggles, the joys, and how fatherhood shaped every single move he made. That honesty struck a chord. Here was a black man in the national spotlight, not performing a persona, not selling a brand, but showing up as a father, a believer, and a man the world hadn't broken, and America loved him for it. Once voting began, Jamal made history. He racked up a record-shattering 24 million votes, the highest number American Idol had ever seen. That moment didn't just make him a winner, it made him a movement. The judges were blown away. The producers knew they had something special. The audience? They were all in, but with Jamal's name suddenly trending everywhere, one lingering question kept popping up. Who's the woman behind the man? All throughout the show, Jamal kept it consistent. When asked about love or relationships, he'd flash a calm smile and say, "I'm single, just focused on raising my girls." And people believed him. Every time he spoke about lyric and harmony, dancing around the house or holding little Gianna in his arms, you knew he meant it. He didn't need to convince anyone. His love for his daughters was obvious, and that love became the center of his public identity. Fans admired him for it. He was seen as a devoted father, not someone using romance for headlines, but someone content and complete with the family he had. But as Jamal's fame exploded, so did curiosity. Comment sections started filling up. How is he still single? Is he just ultra private? Maybe he's still healing? This wasn't gossip, it was genuine interest. People cared. They wanted to know who held his heart because Jamal had shown he was capable of deep, faithful love, and that curiosity turned into full-blown chaos when one photo surfaced. She's just protective, just making sure everything is everything, ... The photo exploded online. Jamal Roberts casually walking with a woman no one had seen before, hand in hand. This wasn't some PR stunt, no glamour shots, no tabloid setups. Just two people out and about, relaxed, laughing, sharing the moment. The kind of photo that only gets captured when people forget cameras exist. Still, that single shot set social media ablaze. Fans zoomed in, broke down facial expressions, even tried to figure out what brand her hoodie was. Is this her? How long have they been together? Why haven't we seen her before? And as usual, the internet went full detective, but this time not out of outrage.
I was treated fairly on American Idol. I was kind of skeptical about it at first. I'm like, man, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. You just know TV. TV is TV. But they gave me a fair chance. They let me prove myself, and I didn't want anything easy. I wanted to work hard for it, and I just appreciate that opportunity.
This was curiosity, maybe even happiness, for a man who had already given the world so much of himself, his music. His fatherhood, his vulnerability, this felt like the one part of his life he hadn't let us see. And then the confirmations came in. Sources close to Jamal revealed, yes, she's the one. And no, this wasn't some new fling after fame. She wasn't a PR plant or a music industry insider riding his coattails. She'd been there long before the world knew who Jamal Roberts was. Before Idol, before the cameras, before the spotlight, this woman was right there. She'd been with him through the long nights, through prayers and parenting, through every season of struggle. She was his peace when life felt like chaos. And if you're wondering why, Jamal never mentioned her. It wasn't about hiding. It was her choice. She's not from the entertainment world. She doesn't care about being famous. She didn't want Instagram followers or tabloid covers. From the start, she made it clear their love was something to be kept private, sacred, protected. So while Jamal stepped into the spotlight, she stood in the shadows, quietly holding things down. That was their agreement. And once fans learned that, their respect only grew. Turns out, Jamal wasn't hiding love, he was protecting it. And fans didn't just understand that, they celebrated it. The response was overwhelmingly positive, just like people had embraced Jamal's story on Idol. They embraced this new chapter too. It didn't feel like a betrayal. It felt like a gift. One comment read, "He gave us songs for the soul, now he's giving us a love story that melts the heart." Another said, "In a world chasing clout, he protected his queen." And someone else wrote what many were already thinking, "He deserves all the joy. We waited for the voice, now we want to see the vows." The love didn't stop. Tweets, tributes, reaction videos, people were all in, not just for the romance, but for how Jamal handled it. Quiet, respectful, grown. For many fans, it made them feel even closer to him because instead of turning love into content, Jamal chose to guard it. No woman I've ever spoken to ever came back to talk because there's nothing to say. According to those close to the couple, Jamal and his longtime partner are now preparing to tie the knot. And in true Jamal fashion, no spectacle, no grand announcement. Just a quiet, faith-centered ceremony surrounded by family, close friends. And God. No cameras, no press, no viral moments. Just love, real and rooted. For Jamal, shielding this moment from the noise is non-negotiable. He's seen how quickly attention can poison peace. He's not about to let that touch something this sacred. This isn't secrecy. This is protection. Now that the relationship is finally public, they're ready to move forward on their terms. No pressure, no timelines, no approval needed. And that's not all. Jamal's also been back in the studio. He's working on a brand new gospel album, one that's already being called his most personal yet. This isn't music made for charts, it's music made from experience. Every lyric, every harmony comes from his real-life walk, his faith, his daughters, his battles, and his love story. Sources say the album will reflect his private struggles, the quiet victories, and the joy he's built in his home. It's not about hits. It's about healing, and for those who followed Jamal from church pews to TV screens, they know when he sings, he ministers. So no, this isn't the end of Jamal Roberts' story. It's the beginning of something deeper. Don't believe the hype online. If I didn't say it, it ain't true. I'm just a down-to-earth country guy. I love my kids, I'm a family man, and I just want to sing and make people feel good. So stick with me, we're just getting started. In a world obsessed with likes and loud headlines, Jamal chose purpose, loyalty, privacy, and the world. They chose him again, not because of scandals, not because of drama, but because they saw something rare, a man who stays true to his values, even when the lights are brightest. A man who didn't exploit his love story but honored it. A man still walking in faith, even while walking into fame. So what do you think about Jamal finally going public with his love story? Was he right to keep it private, or do you wish he had shared it sooner? Let us know in the comments below because we want to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you never miss what's coming next.